Hello everybody and welcome back to Oakbridge Farms. So we are just getting the combine to go over to our wheat field, which is field 5 I think it is, where we originally at the very start of this series we split it into two. So we need to get that cut, we also need to get that baled, we need to look at the field we've just come away from, which is field 13 I think, just there. We need to look at getting a crop into the ground there, and then fairly sharpish getting one in this wheat field that we're doing now. If we have a look on the crop calendar, so I'd like to get as many crops in as possible as many winter crops in. So it's like October when we do our, if we look down olives, so sorghum, that's going to be harvested October, so I want to get that off. Sunflowers harvested October, we want to get those off, and then we can get wheat in, and or we can get barley in. Is there anything else? Linseed we can get in. I'd like to do another field of linseed, that would be quite nice. Oilseed radish, I'm not too fussed about that. So we are going to be relatively, it only looks like we're going to have 4 different crop types in the ground, but it means that we get all that done and then we don't incur any more leasing fees. Right, let's see if we can get through this gate without any hassle. Perfect. These sunflowers will go into our oil mill, and then obviously we won't, which I think, because if you look on it here, oil mill, we're still going through sunflowers from the year before, so we'll fill this up, and then whatever we have left, I think we'll just go into storage to go be sold. The sorghum doesn't look too far off either. Let's just have a run down and see. So this is ready to harvest. Okay, well that's another, we could maybe get, if we get the wheat done first, if we get the wheat done first, we can then move on into here, do a bit of baling. We may even set the worker off in here and just see what happens. Just trying to spread. It's always one of them, it's trying to spread the jobs around as much as possible. So let's go to the combine. Let's start unfolding that. We can. I'm pressing the wrong button. I'm pressing the wrong buttons there. Let's take that off. Let's just quickly swing round. So I didn't realise the sorghum was ready to go now. So we can get this wheat will want to be barley. Or do we put the wheat into linseed? Because we had linseed in that field not long ago. So let's drive forward. And we can connect onto this. Fold that trailer up. I do love these headers when you can do that. It just saves messing on and leaving a header trailer in your field. So if we turn this on, drop that down, I think, I can't remember, we wouldn't have straw, did we drop straw in the last field that we did? No, so we're just cutting that. So if we just stop here, first let's get our steering assist. Steering assist, let's get that on. We then also want to get straw on, and we are now away. So I could tell you one or two things. The realistic version, which happens quite often, is I did a headland of the wheat and it was too wet, it just needs a bit longer, so that's why we moved into the sorghum, which is ready. The actual reason was if I get into the sorghum field now, I can set the worker on cutting the wheat whilst I then bring the drill over to here and I can get this field drilled. So whichever one you want to believe, I'll leave that to you. But I am just going to get this field quickly finished off, which it shouldn't take too long now we're on the up-down rows. And then we will, well, I'll bring you back once we get this into the wheat field, and then we can look at getting the drill over here, which, because it is ridiculously big and a very silly idea, a fun idea but a very silly idea, we will just have to turn up at the farm with it already here. So we're almost there, finishing this field, and we've done one load for 20,000, so it'll be interesting to see how much more. We should hopefully get at least 4,500 in here. It would have been nice to get to 5,000. Oh, look at this go, so close. Right, so let's lift that up, we'll get the auger out, we will tip what's left into the trailer, which that then can go into storage. I forget actually how big this, there we go, that should be in. Yeah, we'll tip this and then we'll set a worker on in the wheat, and then I may go and set a worker on in this field, just spreading the lime, whilst we attempt to go bring our drill over here. So I'm hoping it recognises that I've done the headland, but we will see. So let's do that, let's hire a worker, or is it going to, has that little bit to do there, but I don't know what it's going to do, but I'm sure it'll work. It's going to do a circle first by the looks of it. Where are you off? Okay, it looks like it could be going to do the headland just to finish up the little bits that I missed. But whilst that is doing that, we're going to just get this off the field first, and then we can get the John Deere into here, just putting some lime down. We also need to try to find some money somewhere, because I would like to get the rolls. I think it would be worth doing. If we can find enough to lease the rolls, then we will get at least, well, try to follow behind with that, so we're getting maximum value. So we'll just reverse this in. Why is that? There we go. Sorghum, and you'll be able to see how poplar has grown. So that's starting to look lovely. Right, where is the... Here it is. So this really needs some fuel. Do you reckon we'll get through this year without loading this up with fuel? But we'll take this down to the sorghum field, and we can just put this straight onto a worker, and hopefully they do a good enough job until we get here with the drill. So, hire worker. Let's go have a look at... Okay. What's the combine doing? Oh, did it realise that I've done the headland, but I haven't done this one properly, so it's just finishing this bit off for me. We better just keep an eye on this and just see what's happening. Let's change that because I want straw swath. Okay, it's doing the short row. There was a tiny row to go down here, so it's now starting on. Can I... Hold on, I'm going to have to stop you because you are chopping. Let's hire the worker. Oh, this could have been a very bad idea. Is it going to continue on that row? Right, that's a good start. And it's dropping a straw swath. Brilliant. So, we will move on to here. We'll get this back round so that's ready to unload for the worker. And then we will go get our drill over. So this just into here. Do our little slalom course. So we'll leave this here for now. Turn that off. And let's go get our drill. And we've arrived. So I have just had a look. if we detach this here, we can lease the big rolls. So we'll nip to the store and go gather them up. So rollers, we're going for these ones. Lease, I think it's 7,000 years. So we're back down to £5,000. So we're very much relying on the BGA to keep us out of debt. Otherwise, we're going to be going drastically into debt. But we still have loads of products that we can sell, obviously at a very discounted price to keep us afloat. It does make you appreciate the faster tractors when you're driving this and only doing a maximum of 17 miles an hour. So let's put that on, and we will take this to the field that we've just drilled, and I think we can do a bit of rolling whilst we wait. So we'll just have to navigate going through here, which should be a lot easier than when we were in the combine and or the drill. So we take it wide. I know we have hit that other wall, but that's nothing we can do. Okay, we need a new fence post. It's like, where was it, Clarkson, on Clarkson's farm? Didn't he take a load of fence posts out or something like that? So we just need to get ourselves in a decent position, look for steering assist. So I don't think we're wide enough just yet. Okay, we're not far off being on the line. So we'll pull onto here. If we put steering assist on, we can now go. And this should be able to pull it fairly effortlessly. Helps if we're on the line. I'm sure I pressed this to be on there. Right, let's try that again. Right, we're definitely on now. These new headlands we're putting in are massive. That's brilliant that we've got them in, and I'm just hoping, now we can see them, I'm hoping that it will just infill the old ones. But you can see what a difference that is in size. But obviously we've nearly doubled it. But anyways, we are almost done rolling. It is not, you shouldn't really be rolling in this weather. It will, more than likely, you'll be pulling the seeds out the ground, I would have thought, instead of compacting them in, keeping them in with plenty of moisture, especially with this rain now as well. So let's fold this up. I am having issues with my power slide. I am having issues with, I think it could be my steering wheel. Look at those ruts. Where it keeps pressing buttons keep coming on. It's like you were just seeing the rolls detached, which that wasn't me. And then I've had my help menu, my tools, your shop menu, that's been popping up, so I don't quite know what's going on. I hope it's not my steering wheel on its way out, otherwise I'll have to look at buying another. And we arrive. So we are going to get this field drilled. This will be the last part of this episode. So let's just drop the rolls off here. Unfortunately, we haven't managed to get the wheat field completed because we were getting a reducing yield with that. And we will go and set the John Deere. I forgot how slow this is. We will go and set the John Deere on. They can go spread lime on our field over there. Is it 14 or 15? I can't remember what. I can never remember these numbers. If they had names, then it would be a lot easier. So let's just fold that up. So we're still on that same tanker line, which is brilliant. The only thing that's going against us at the minute is how many different bits of machinery and kit that we have on lease. But this should only be like this for a month or two, and then we'll be back to normal. Just like that, coming around the corner, and it's decided that it wants to take the line spreader off. Right, let's try again. Hopefully we'll get to the field without any more problems. So we will just pull into here. If we press H, get a work. Is it hide a worker? Yes, they're just wearing the same top and jacket as me. That was confusing. Let's now find this, and we can start to get on drilling here. So we want to be. Let's open that up. With having the seed cart on the back, it does make it a bit harder, especially when you're trying to get into these corners. So we want... Shall we do another field of canola here? Let's go for it. I think let's have 2 fields of canola. It is a very good paying crop, so we might as well. So let's turn that on. We can then drop it down. Hopefully sweep round this corner and get all this in. And the only other thing that we will need is steering assist, is always very handy. Oh, we've still got a lot of... I didn't think there'd be that many. I thought with it being so big, we wouldn't have as many up-downs as we do. But anyways... And there we go. I don't know whether this does make our lives that little bit easier and quicker using such a big implement, because it is, well, it's a nightmare to try steer and drive around the place. So I can see why it's something that would be mainly used sort of in America or, well, America, Australia, that sort of thing. That's where I would, if I was to be a guessing man, that's where this would be phenomenal for. But anyways, we will just park this up at the top and we'll just have a quick look. So this one's rolling next time. The rain should have passed. We will have a look at the weather. I haven't closed the hopper and or put the sheet on the trailer. Well, I don't think that's got a sheet anyway, so that will all be getting very, very wet. So if we just pull this off like so, when is the weather going to change? So we are 12 o'clock. So yeah, so we've got a very good spell after 12 of getting in. And we want to have a look at, so it'll be next month will be wheat. So it looks like we may have to hold on to this seed hawk until October. Or, where's linseed? Can that go in now? Linseed. So the linseed's next month as well. And the barley's next month. So we'll keep it till September, then we'll get rid of it, and then we'll get a smaller drill for October. That seems like the much better option. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have all liked and enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.